Hey, OTT, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm not doing too bad. I've just got all my my regular stuff done. I'm good now.
I just got done stabbing some over at the apartments.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's my everyday occurrence, I think, at this point.
Wait, really? What the fuck?
Well, I wouldn't say every day, but I definitely stabbed somebody yesterday.
Jesus.
Yeah. What's going on with you?
Well, I just had to cancel some fucking job. Yeah, I wanted to chat about things. I needed a handful of pots.
Okay, what do you need?
I need transmissions, mostly.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm moving a vehicle right now.
That's all good.
There we go. Just leave that right there. Probably like so let me talk a little openly with you.
Sure.
So as of right now, material prices are all over the fucking place.
Yep.
And I think some stabilization is in order, and I think it's getting to a point where I think what's happening right now, OTT, is it's kind of like the entire supply chains are being run by like an entire conglomerate. I think that's what things are going to end up getting. And I don't think that's a good thing at all.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible.
And
so what do you want to do about it?
I don't know yet. I'm kind of like throwing it out there. Part of me is like, look, I need to find a business partner and just like fucking split up everything, right? Like kind of like, okay, this is like, you know, split the responsibilities. Because look, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, who the fuck wants to like run everything from A to Z by themselves, right? Like, it's just like,
it's too much.
It's too much. Like, I want to be able to do other shit in my life. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
And so I am open now. I did get openly, I have had exclusivity offers put on the table, but I don't know how like truthful people are about it, right? Because anyone can go out there and be like, yo, I want to be exclusive, but then like you don't actually know like what's going to happen down the line.
Yeah.
So
well, I was going to have a discussion with Patar today because he wants to sell all of his materials to the company. He's apparently getting quite a few.
Yeah.
I have some old buddies from the past that are hard on the materials, and
yeah.
obviously, if I put my mind to it, I mean, it's game over. So
yeah.
The only thing that's scaring me right now is yesterday there were people buying materials at $2. Then by midday it was $2.50. Now I'm seeing on Twitter $3 for specific types, and it's going to be very, very tough for us to compete if the prices keep going up. Like, if they're going to go up to $5, like, the profit margins are gone.
It's bad for us too, OTT. You know what's happening right now? Every fucking piece of shit is opening up their shop, like opening up a shop. There was people selling repairs at $50 a pot.
No.
Yes.
Well, they need to be killed. They need to be killed. Them ones.
That's kind of that's why like I'm more and more like just like, listen, I kind of want to just like combine forces with like that's why I was fucking with you guys with that deal, because like I'm like, listen, like let's just fucking close the goddamn loop. You know what I mean? And if we can close the fucking goddamn loop, like just straight up, I'm still very interested in what we discussed 2 days ago, because that removes a headache from my end. And I know damn well that it's a mechanic shop today. In a couple weeks, it might be something else, right?
Correct.
And splitting up the work on the business sense just kind of makes, like, you got a smart head on your shoulders. And I don't have enough brain capacity myself to be dealing with half this shit. And that removes some pressure off my shoulders, spread some onto yours, and I'm sure you got some people, I got some other people. You see what I'm trying to cook here?
I got 100%, Nino, and I'm liking what you're cooking here. I'm liking the smell of it. What do you need in right now? You need transmissions?
I need transmissions and I think some like engines.
right,
And that holds me over for like a bit. Like my guys have already sold out of their pods.
Holy, everything that I gave you yesterday?
Oh yeah,
you
yeah. Oh, that's gone. And then oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that was gone. Like I'm snapping my fingers right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now, my issue is I'm low on specific materials. I am very low on rubber and very low on steel tubes. So I need to get some of that, and then I can start crafting like crazy. I've been crafting nonstop for you, as much as I can. And right now,
I think you should pause on that because I'm sitting on 50 of everything, except for transmissions and some other shit. So we're hitting the same problem. So let me chop it up like this to you, right? If you break down the ratios of materials, certain materials aren't worth more than $1.
That's right.
And so I think even when, like, if you're purchasing up for people, it actually makes more sense to do a spread of what you're paying for. Now, it's going to be an initial shock for material buyers, but the fact of the matter is, like, do you want to meet up?
Yeah, let's meet up.
Let's meet up at the LS Customs.
All right, I'll be there in a minute.
All right, I'll see you in a bit. Hey, sorry about the delay. Been
oh, bro, it's no worries at all. I'm vibing.
Yeah, this entire business has been interesting, to say the least. Shit changing left and right.
Yeah, and there has to be, and I try and tell the boys this too, is there has to be some level of bendability that they need to understand, because everything changes so quickly, and it's almost like every single day. Like,
yeah,
like even the benches, the manufacturer just keeps changing the benches. And I mean, Nino, think about where the materials are going to go as soon as there are guns available.
Let me call this guy real quick, just so I don't forget.
Yeah, do your thing.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, just trying to be realistic about all of this is, as soon as there are gun blueprints of any sort,
yep.
I mean, people are going to be buying materials in bulk, specifically for that. Then the repairs are going to take a beating because the mechanic shops are going to run out of parts unless they buy them from the Mosley's cuck that charges you fucking $15 million a part, which, you know, is probably going to come back into play at some point. I think for me, the way I look at it, and I've done the material stuff for years, and I mean, I used to be deep into it. I used to be Vinny's guy. I was the guy. I used to just collect endless mats. And the thing that I've learned is, in order for us to have a big impact on the material game or the car parts or the gun market, we need a solid team, a focused team.
Agreed.
And if you don't have that, I mean, your name is only going to get you so far, right? Like, guys like myself, yourself, JP, Lang, you know, the people that have been around a long time that have some street cred, people are going to go to them before some regular Joe Schmo that doesn't have any street cred.
Lumber, they got 15 months.
They will go to the Joe Schmoes if the prices are they're making significantly more, which is why you almost need to sell your crew on the vision long term. It's almost like they have to be okay with making less up front to make all of the monies down the road. And
Agreed.
you need good people behind you that share the same vision. And I think what we need to do is we need to go and find these people, and we need to sell them on the dream, because if not, we might do a really good job for a week, 2 weeks, but and I know we will burn out real quick trying to manage everything on our own. We'll hate it. We'll give up.
It's already slowly hitting me. I'm gonna be honest. Like getting cooped up in like a fucking shop, making vehicles, making calls, like literally fighting with people on sense because they're too like incompetent to like understand that just because someone buys at a certain price doesn't mean that they're gonna come to you again, because they're gonna realize, like with this whole like ratio of mats thing, is like they're gonna come to realize that, you know, like, okay, there's like a shop that's currently selling at like an idiotic price. It's like, okay, well, are they really competition? No, because they probably got themselves a handful of cheap parts. And they're like, oh my God, I can start a mechanic shop. Little did they do the math to realize that they're actually making negative money.
Correct. The problem is with that, and that's fine. Those dipshits are going to pop up and go and pop up and go. But the problem is with that is it almost creates a false market narrative that people are like, oh, Will, fucking dipshit mechanic down on fucking Grove or wherever. They fix my car at $60 a part and they only charge me $100 service fee. The problem is them motherfuckers aren't going to be able to do that for days or weeks on end. They're going to run out of shit real quick. And it's going to be right back to Mosley's or Popular Street or here or wherever where reality is going to sink back in.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 100% right.
Well, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to work on getting as many strategic materials as possible, because even the recipes I feel like have changed. Some of the parts, the amount that you need has changed.
Wait, has
so
it?
I need, well, unless I wrote down, I had a spreadsheet of all the different parts and what it needed, and it feels like some things have moved around a bit. Not necessarily the amount of materials you need, but some of the actual materials I feel like have changed. Like for a part, before it might have been all just rubber. Now it's like 7 rubber and 7 or say 4 rubber and 3 of something else. So I need to go back over my spreadsheet and take a look. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a look at that. And then I'm going to figure out exactly what we need. If you need transmission parts, like I think right now I only have like 4 of them. But the problem is
I think I need that and clutches now, and axle pots.
Is there a way that you could text me or email me? It doesn't matter. Like on a daily basis, like before you go to sleep, if you take a look at your inventory and you're like, okay, I need this, and this, you can either text it or email it to me. And then when I wake up, I can have that stuff ready for you. And then I can also pass along to the company boys. The cold hard truth here is, Nino, and now that the majority of the company isn't here, it's just me. And I'm not a bullshitter, bro. I'm just going to tell you flat out, straight up.
Yeah.
There are, I would say, 4 members, easily 3, but potentially 4. Maybe the 4th is seasonal, that I don't really think is going to give a fuck about wanting to go out and collect materials and getting this shit done for you. On a daily basis.
Oh, of course.
It's totally okay, because there are people within the group that are 100% down and all for it. And I think that's all you're really going to need. But it's our job to, or I guess it's really my job at this point, is to keep the boys focused on the long-term vision. And I think the moment that other blueprints start circulating, I think the boys are going to get a little bit more wide-eyed about crafting and doing all this stuff. And I think that they'll be very, very happy that they continued to do business with you, because I know your past, to a degree, and you've explained some of it to me. You're a well-connected guy, and I'm sure you're not just going to get into just fixing cars all day, right? I think right now it's building the infrastructure, if I'm gathering that right.
I mean, the long term is I want the shop to just like operate, right?
Yeah.
And being able to pull out of it. Right now it's getting the right people that are interested in, you know, getting this cooking. In fact, waking up this morning, most of my guys already we were the only shop apparently overnight that had pots available. And that was a big part of that was I'm out there making sure we've got like a surplus, you know? And why I got the liquid to begin with and why I didn't invest in a house right away. Cause I'm like, well, if you don't have like a sustainable supply, people are going to just stop coming. Right.
That's right. That's absolutely right. I'm going to talk to Patar today.
Yep.
I see he's still buying materials now. If you're okay with it, I can tell him that I am working with you on making sure. I obviously won't get into any long-term aspirations, but I'm going to keep him focused on potentially helping us gather as many materials as possible and kind of bringing those all through to you via parts. I mean, obviously, if you can keep selling the parts or buying the parts, sorry, at $50 a piece, I think we can work with that. And I think that will be some decent money because even if we buy materials at $2 a piece, it's costing us 28. Say that goes up to 3.
Yeah.
You know, now we're looking at what? It's usually 14. So 14 times 3. I mean, the margins go down pretty quickly. But to be honest with you, Nino, I truly don't give a fuck about the pennies right now. It's the dollars I care about down the road.
I'm in the same boat. Now, transparently speaking, I've had others reach out in regards to wanting to like exclusivity and just weighing the options here, right? In the long term, I don't need this to be my place. This can be like a place where stakeholders are doing business. That's how I kind of look at it, right? Because you need a vehicle. Everyone needs a vehicle to a mechanic shop goes a long fucking way for a lot of different business. Is how I look at
it does. You're damn right. Yeah.
So the reason for the transparency is like I'm obviously gonna weigh their options as well. I have to, right?
You're a businessman. I get it.
Exactly. And but right now I think there's a lot more that y'all offer than the others, especially since you have delivered, right? So
yeah. All right. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we can try and see where this goes. If you feel like, hey, I've got a better option, I mean, I'm not going to take it personal. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm sure we'll continue to work with each other in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let me get to work, Nino. Let me get a speaking. All right. Let me gather the right people that have the right vision, that are dedicated, and that aren't going to do this for 2 days and fuck off. And that's the big thing. It's just consistency. Because people can promise you the world, Nino, but how long can they hold on to that promise? And then next thing you know it, you know, if you've told a bunch of people no, thinking, you know, Joe Blow is going to have your back, then what? You're going to have to crawl back to the ones that you said no to and say, hey, can you reconsider? That's not a good look.
That 100%. That's exactly it.
And I'll tell you right now, man, from a company standpoint, as soon as you basically say, fuck these guys, like I'm going with someone else, they're just going to move on, man. They're just going to be like, nah, fuck this. They already done it with Mary. So, you know, just, I mean, you're saying all the right things and you're making all the right moves. So just keep on that and I'll keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
And, you know, we'll, let me work on these parts. Why don't you shoot me a text with what you need right now? And I'll have all this for you in the next hour.
Beautiful. One thing, I got word back on the BP. These guys, I guess they were watching like the Rose Bowl or some shit. But it's available. They just want to see themselves get back whole, right? So we're talking about the Lockpick BP, right?
Correct. So I have an update for you on that on our end.
Okay.
Obviously this stays between us. So apparently the company had worked out some kind of deal through Vinny to have access to make them. Now, what
Ooh,
I'm
that's
being
very
told,
short-sighted.
well, I don't think it's has anything to do with our business.
Okay.
I think that it has to do with the impulsiveness of some of the members within the company, with all due respect, and they just
That's
want to
actually a
have
good
the
thing.
shit to have the shit. Now,
That makes sense.
with that being said, they're extremely still interested in working out something with you, but I don't think JP and a few of the other members see the value in spending a lot of money on a lockpick that basically cannot lockpick the vast majority of cars within the city. The boys are thinking that there's going to be an advanced lockpick blueprint that's going to come around at some point, which is going to be much more advantageous to have than a regular lockpick. So I think at this point, the boys are just willing to get a few lockpicks to have and kind of see where shit's going instead of dumping in 58 grand into something. Because how are we ever going to get our money back? You know, if we put in 58,000 bucks, right?
I
Or
agree.
say, yeah, it's like, how many lockpicks do we have to sell? And then not only that, here's the biggest kicker, Nino.
Yeah.
It's not even about how many lockpicks you have to sell. We need 150 of those fucking steel tubes or whatever it are to make one.
Wait, you need steel tubes now?
I don't.
No, it's
what
not.
Was it?
It's
is it steel
it's
or
the
is it
junk. No,
the
it's
alloy.
it's the alloy. It's literally free money, OTT.
So explain the alloy to me.
Alloy is the least used component. In other words, all the parts that you are currently crafting, right? You're going to get an excess of alloy. The alloy is probably worth like 25 cents. But let's say you're buying even across the board. Right now, I'm sitting on 2,000 of whatever the fuck the lockpicks are for. You need 150 of them. So in other words, it's your like garbage collector, right? It's your those lockpicks you're making and you're selling for pretty much straight profit if you're already crafting pots for vehicles. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. So
you need 7. If you make one part each. Now I got to go back and look at the recipes since you said it changed. But before the change, you use 28 rubber, 35 steel, 14 copper, 14 circuit, 14 plastic, 14 metal, but only 7 glass and 7 alloy. And now all that alloy that you're sitting on excess turns into a lockpick. And even if you're selling it for like $600, right? That's
big profit.
Exactly.
Huge margins, way more than the parts for the car.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your deal? If we get this blueprint, right?
Yep.
Like obviously we want to invest into this as well, right? So is there something still on the table if we get this blueprint? Like, are we going to be able to have access to it, or do we just give you the parts, you make the stuff for us? Like,
I was going to sell you guys. I was just going to sell you guys the blueprint, to be honest.
Okay.
And the deal is that some of the lockpicks come our way, and you have a vested interest in the shop to continue moving. You know what I mean? And I think the long term is y'all are like sort of buying into the vision of this place, and that gets me like street protection, right? It gets me the things coming in. And I think I see it more like a stepping stone towards the future, whatever that future is. You know what I mean?
And what are we talking with? 58 Gs?
Yeah.
Or does he want more?
I think 58, to be honest. Yeah, you know, and that way, what do you call it? You know, and the values coming out of the us getting the lockpicks and whatever. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yep.
Like,
okay. Yeah, don't get turned off by what I told you. It's
I'm not turned off by it.
Yeah. I don't think there was a large investment made because we just, you know, I think it's just the boys wanted to have access to it. I think they've realized that there's no major there's no major benefit of having like spending $58,000 up front. Like, I think the way the boys are looking at it is, if we were to spend $58,000, there are several things that we would prefer to spend $58,000 on than
Agreed.
a Lockpick blueprint.
I don't for a minute take umbrage to that.
Yeah. But let me continue to talk to the boys through that. And I'm sure, you know, even if it is a good faith gesture where we buy this, we start supplying this place with them, and we have it for ourselves.
Yeah.
I think that'll go a long way.
The alternative is I get these guys to flip it instead, and we just say, fuck the blueprint, you know?
Let me bring that up to the boys.
Me offering y'all the blueprint, I haven't told anybody, right? Me offering up the blueprint was more like, yo, let's work together on this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you were, because there's a lot of people that would want that, right? You were keeping the option open for us, so it's appreciated. By the way, since the last time we all talked, everybody's been saying nothing but good things about you, and they're still on board about all of this. It's just, man, the company is a wild group of people, man. It is high octane. It is a lot of unfocused. It's a lot of like just impulsive decision making all the time, and there's like 3 of us that are constantly trying to steer the ship. So my goal,
that's understandable.
Yeah. And that's fine, man. The guys can go ahead. Like, there's a group of the guys that can go ahead and just create chaos and do whatever. Yeah. I'm just making sure that there's a group of us that stay focused on the business side.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what gets my dick hard, right? So it's not it's not going out and fucking robbing everything I see or whatever. Although I do enjoy that once in a while. But it's this. This is the shit that stimulates me.
Yeah. Oh, same.
Good. All right. Well, let me give me an hour. Yep. Shoot me a text or an email with what you need. We'll link back up. I'll get you all that stuff. Let me talk to Patar and a few others. Let me get some things going, and then we'll have another chat.
All right, easy.
All right, Nino. Appreciate your time, brother.
Anytime. You take care, my man.
You too.